I'll just share the screen.
This is the one, like we opened.
Oh, this is the one. Okay. Okay, welcome Akhil Prabhu. Seeing you after a long time.
Very good.
Haribo. Okay. We'll just repeat the verse. Shaunaka uvacha Kapilastatva sankhyaata Bhagavanatma mayaya Jatasvayamajas saksha Atmaprajnaptayenina. Okay, you have the mic ready?
Yes.
Okay, so whenever you're speaking, you turn it on. When you're not speaking, you turn it off. You think you can follow that much?
Yes.
Okay.
Can sit down now.
Okay, so who can explain what the verse means? Yes, take the mic and speak.
So here, Shaunak Rishi is asking question to Suta Goswami. He is actually explaining about Kapil Muni, and he's telling about Kapil Deva, and further on in the other verses.
Other verses, I'm asking about this verse.
Yeah, so this is like you gave this introduction.
Yeah, so what is the meaning I'm asking? Literal.
Oh, the meaning of this verse is that Lord Kapila, he gave the Sankhya philosophy,
Look at the
and
verses.
who is Lord Kapila? He is the supreme Lord, and he is born. He comes to this material world on his own sweet will, and he is unborn, and he come here to
Unborn, Ajaha. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, and he comes here to deliver all the living entities.
All the living entities?
Oh,
Nrinam means
Nina means human
human race. Yeah.
human race.
Because he's giving Sankhya philosophy which dogs cannot understand. Sankhya philosophy cannot be understood by the cows, and humans can understand. Okay. So before we continue, yesterday we read two verses. Can you quickly give, anyone can remember what we studied? Two paragraphs. Any quick points?
We will discuss how Kapila Muni appeared into this world. So we discussed about that Kardama Muni and how Devahuti they met each other, and then we discussed that how
From the two paragraphs I'm asking. Introduction, we discussed introduction about history of Kapil Dev, that's fine. From the paragraphs.
paragraphs I don't remember.
Yes, Prabhu.
We saw that how Devahuti was very sad when Kardama Muni left her when Kapila Dev was born. So she was regretting her decision of asking for sense gratification instead. She would have requested for higher things like liberation and all.
Good, thank you. Well, I'm asking from the paragraphs.
Oh, these paragraphs.
These paragraphs, yeah. Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Okay. In the
Sorry.
Yeah, so I'll quickly say, so the first couple, like the first paragraph stated that, Vedas already consisted knowledge about the material,
very
material,
good.
whatever we want to do, material knowledge. And they are enough, to take us to the level of sattva from a mode of ignorance.
And passion.
Yeah.
Mode of ignorance and passion.
Yeah, mode of ignorance and passion to the mode of goodness. And that's the role of Vedas, and they already exist. And also the second paragraph touched upon the, one needs to lead a life of restriction, not like animal form of life, to understand, to able to reach the mode of goodness, and then to understand the transcendent knowledge.
Oh, very good. So who can say why to come to mode of goodness?
Prabhuji,
Yes, Prabhu.
I can say. So yesterday
Yes.
you were giving an example that coming to mode of goodness is like being on the airstrip. You can only take off if you are on the airstrip. Like the flight can only take off if you're on the airstrip.
Yeah, like the airport. You come to airport is more of goodness. From there you can fly to transcendence. We discussed this much. Okay, now we'll go from third paragraph. So we can start reading from Prabhu. Asiman Prabhu. See, and also before we continue third paragraph, yesterday Prabhupada was saying human beings are meant to lead a regulated life. By nature, there is regulation in animal life. You know what is their regulation? For us, we have to do regulation consciously. What is their regulation?
By external factors, like they have to compete with the other.
Yeah, sometimes they have to compete. Sometimes food is not readily available. Starvation. And also Prabhupada says you keep a sack of grains on the road. You know, the bird comes, takes how much it needs, eats and goes. Then maybe a dog or cow can come, eat what it wants and goes. But man comes, takes the entire sack and goes. So the storing tendency is only in man. Whereas the animals, they don't store. They only eat how much is required and that's it. So therefore we have, we have to make conscious efforts in trying to regulate, how much to eat, how much not to eat. Today I overate, yesterday I did fasting. But animals act by instinct. So they don't face, like you will find dogs and cows and other animals, daily they can go for clearing. They don't have problem of constipation and they might have, but it's not a big problem, like as in the human beings, because human beings don't have control over senses. Whereas animals, they act by instinct. Sense control is meant for human beings. So there is some sort of regulation in animal life, but when we talk about regulation in human life, that requires a conscious effort. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Yeah. So only when one's life is regulated according to the Vedas can one understand transcendental knowledge, which is very important. That means a life of regulation is a life in mode of goodness. Only then Shastra will make sense. There's so many people who say that I have read the Bhagavad Gita, I have studied the Mahabharata, I have studied the Ramayana. Prabhupada says in the lower modes, bhakti cannot be accessed. You've seen that before? Heard that before? Bhakti cannot be accessed or practiced in the lower modes. Then if someone in the lower modes is actually doing something like bhakti, then what is that? It's only a semblance. It looks like bhakti, but it is not bhakti. Can someone tell me why? Why can bhakti not be practiced in the lower modes? Yes. You have mic? Be very quick in passing the mic. Don't. It's a very small device. It falls, the mic can go inside.
So yesterday you mentioned about the frog and well philosophy.
Okay.
That's yesterday or today morning.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So you said frog in the well thinks everything with respect to the size of well. Even if you say ocean, it's the same way. If we are in the lower mode, we think everything according to that. Oh, God is very powerful. Or like how powerful? Like I can eat something. He could eat 10 times more than that. But they can't go beyond that. They can't understand few transcendental things in the lower modes.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Next. Anyone else?
So when we say bhakti cannot, because bhakti has to be performed unalloyed and uninterrupted. Whereas if it is mixed with the mode of passion and ignorance, then it cannot be considered bhakti, because it is like mixed devotion.
Okay, so why is mixed devotion not devotion?
Because for example, when you're, let's say, cooking, and then you have one intention that you want to please the Lord. At the same time, you want to show that I am a very good cook. So it is not pure. You are not giving pure offering to the Lord.
Yeah, sometimes one's rajas and tamas comes in between. Like you want to chant, but then your tamas is there. You know what happens while chanting? You fall asleep, isn't it? You want to hear, but while hearing you're falling asleep because tamas is there. Or you want to chant or hear, but Rajas is there. That means the mind is completely distracted. It's planning for the day, it's planning for the month, planning for the year, planning for 10 years ahead, but not listening to that class or the holy name. Why? Because a lot of Rajas is there. So where is the question of bhakti? When we say bhakti means basically pure bhakti. Bhakti means that which is as an offering to Krishna. That is only actually bhakti. We, just as we say, are we all devotees? We say yes, we are all we are all devotees. But if you go to the literal translation, we try to say we are trying to be devotees. What does that mean? We say you are chanting Hare Krishna, you're following 4 legs. You want to go back to Godhead. Are you not a devotee? We say we are trying to be devotees. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Not completely pure, doing it as an option.
Yeah, we still have other motivations. Therefore, it is not bhakti. Similarly, we are not, therefore, we are not devotees. And similarly, when there is contamination in the lower modes, always, whatever we are trying to offer to Krishna, there's always what's in it for me. Antenna. Whatever we look at, we are thinking, what's in it for me? If I look at prasadam, what's in it for me? What can I take? What can I not take? When I'm cooking, someone says, Prabhu, can you do cooking for the Lord? Okay, what's in it for me? Can you sing this aarti for the Lord? What's in it for me? Till the time we are thinking what's in it for me, till that time it is actually contaminated. At the same time, to go beyond these material motivations is also not very easy. Are you able to understand? Are you sure? To go beyond these material motivations also cannot be artificially done, because when we are situated in lower modes, the motivations are there. So what do we do? What do we do?
We still,
Huh?
we still continue doing, because by following this process, gradually one becomes pure.
Okay. We continue, anyway continue. If it's third class chanting, was
We put our endeavor, of
okay.
course,
Okay.
with
Okay.
conscious effort. We put,
Okay.
but it's
We
not
still
that it's not
continue
that
putting efforts, you mean?
yeah, it's not that we stop till we become pure and then
Mm.
we start chanting, or then we start doing offering.
How do you become pure?
So that's the process. Like
Okay.
in the process we become pure.
Okay. Okay. Little more, yeah.
Seeking association of pure devotees, like more senior devotees, and seeking guidance from spiritual master or
Yes. When you perform
Hmm.
devotional service under guidance, if someone says, Prabhuji, give me the mridanga, I want to please Krishna, versus someone saying, Prabhu, can you please play mridanga for the pleasure of the Lord? So when someone gives you mridangas, we might say, yes, Prabhu, I like mridanga, but that's not why you're playing. Whether you like it or not, someone has asked you to play. Therefore, you're playing. It's pure. Similarly, if one is not hankering to sing, say, what, some festival kirtan, the prime time kirtan. One is not saying, Prabhu, can I sing at this time? If you're asking, that means your desire. If someone says, Prabhu, can you sing at this time, prime time, no one else is there, then we do it as a service, whether you like it or not. If you like it, it's nice. But if you don't like it, still do it, isn't it? So it is done out of service attitude. His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj was asked, Sri Prabhupada, what was the thing? His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj asked Sri Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, you say that whatever the spiritual master gives, whatever he tells you to do, you're supposed to do it even if you don't like it. But you have asked me to preach and I like preaching. Prabhupada said, that's your good fortune. That means if you don't like, you're still supposed to do it. If you like it, it's good. But the emphasis is as being told. Like we asked Janini Prabhu in Fitch House on Sunday, Prabhu, can you please speak Bhagavatam today? He said, sure, Prabhu, if you like me to serve in that way, I'm happy to. So if you like me to serve in that way, the request of the Vaishnavas. So in the Vaishnava circle, we don't jump forward and say, Prabhuji, I can do it. Prabhuji, give me the opportunity. So that's all Rajas and Tamas taking over. We're always like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, who is that? Duki. You know Duki? Duki is the one in Mahaprakash Leela when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat on the throne of Vishnu, and all the Vaishnava, Bengali Vaishnava, all the kind of Vaishnavas had gathered there, and Supreme Lord was giving mercy. At that time, before that happened, there was feeding the Lord. So they gathered all these ingredients, and Duki was the one standing away, completely at the back, unseen by the Lord, and giving these water pots. Generally, the leader of the team gets the credit, and he might appoint another vice leader, and he or she might get the credit. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw whom? Duki. And first mercy in that series of mercy giving ceremony, the first mercy went to Duki because she was Dasanudas. So in the lineage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the parampara, Dasanudas gets more mercy, and Anudas gets even more mercy. They get recognized first. So therefore, the devotee is thinking, how can I serve another devotee? Not how can I serve Krishna directly. When someone thinks, how can I serve Krishna directly, is considered to be neophyte. Rather, one thinks, how can I serve his pure devotee? That is considered better. How can I serve the devotee who is serving the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord? That is considered even more exalted. So on and so forth. So therefore, Prabhupada is saying, when one's life is regulated according to the Vedas, that means Sattva Guna. We are not allowing Rajas and Tamas to take over. Then one can understand transcendental knowledge. Okay, now we continue. Who has the micro? Is this, you can understand? See?
From which paragraph?
Same, for the propagation. Oh, wait. It's not moving actually. I don't want to do that on the recording. Is this too slow? Can you have it on your phone? Where's my phone? I have on the Kindle.
I don't have my phone.
Okay, I continue reading. You can continue once you have. For the propagation of his transcendental knowledge, Kapil Dev, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, gave instructions in Sankhya philosophy to his mother Devahuti. Later, another Kapil Deva appeared who expounded atheistic Sankhya philosophy, which dealt with the 24 elements but gave no information about God. The original Kapila is called Devahuti Putra Kapila, and the other is called the atheist Kapila. Concerning Kapil Dev, Shaunika Rishi says, Kapila Sattva Sankhyata. Kapila is a supreme person. Therefore, he can explain the absolute truth. Actually, Bhagavan can know the true position of the ultimate truth. No one else can know it. Bhagavan, Krishna's incarnation, occasionally visits the earth to give humanity information about the aim of life. Thus, the Supreme Lord descended as Kapil Dev, Tattva Sankhyata. The word Sankhyata means expounder, and Tattva means the absolute truth. The absolute truth is Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself. We cannot understand the absolute truth or the Supreme Person by mental speculation. Do you have it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when we are under the influence of the three modes of material nature, Satoguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. Only those who are situated in Sataguna, the mode of goodness, are fit to understand the absolute truth. According to Bhagavad Gita 18.42, those possessing Brahminical qualifications are situated in Satvaguna.
Samodhamastapashaucham shantirajavamevacha jnanam vijnanamastikyam brahma karma svabhavajam.
Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and righteousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work. According to the Vedic conception, there must be men in the society who are factually Brahmanas, capable of expounding the real truth. If everyone becomes a Sudra, the absolute truth cannot be understood. It is said that at the present moment in Kali Yuga, everyone is a Sudra, Kalau Sudra Sambhava, and it is very difficult in this age to find qualified Brahmanas. for they are very rare. There is practically not a single qualified Brahmana in this age.
प्रायेणाल्पायुषा सद्या कलामस्मिन् युगे जना मन्दासुमन्दमतयो मन्दभाग्या विपत्युता.
O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Srimad Bhagavatam 1:110. The people in this age are very short lived and slow in understanding spiritual life. Actually, human life is meant for understanding spiritual values, but because everyone in this age is a Sudra, no one is interested. People have forgotten life's real purpose. The word manda means both slow and bad, and everyone in this age is either bad or slow, or a combination of both. People are unfortunate People are unfortunate and disturbed by so many things. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, there will eventually be no rain and consequently a scarcity of food. The governments will also levy very heavy taxes. The characteristics of this age predicted by Srimad Bhagavatam are already being experienced to some degree. Since Kali Yuga is a very miserable age, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Sri Krishna himself, advises everyone simply to chant Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, okay, so we can read next. You guys are following, no? All follow next as a series of questions to all of you.
Hare
Starting from here.
Hare Nameva Kevalam, Kalo
Kalo
Nasteva,
nasteva,
Nasteva Gatiranyatha.
gatiranyatha.
In this age of Kali, there is no alternative, there is no alternative, there is no alternative for spiritual progress than the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord. Brihanardya Puran. This process is not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's invention, but is advised by the Shastras, the Puranas. The process for this Kali Yuga is very simple. One need only chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, since everyone in this age is an unintelligent, unfortunate, and disturbed Shudra. How can anyone understand the absolute truth or the aim of life, as stated by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 4.7? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself.
So you can see clearly, some hundreds of thousands of years ago, Lord Krishna appeared as Devavati Putra Kapila. His father's name is Kardama. You can see the shift, not flow. That means taken from different lectures and put. Okay. So who can give me the flow of what Prabhupada is speaking? Yes, Prabhu. Very good. You have the mic with you. Are you qualified to speak? Your qualification is to have the mic.
So we left at one should be in the mode of so Vedas take us to the mode of goodness, then we can understand transcendence. And from the next paragraphs, we learned when in mode of goodness, he has qualities of brahmanas, and then he can understand the transcendent knowledge. And then with that uh, the verse from Bhagavatam, the qualities were mentioned. And then
Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita?
yeah, Bhagavad Gita. And then in the next paragraph, like the condition of this age of Kali, full of hypocrisy and quarrelsome, how people are unfortunate, lazy,
What's the connection?
so which prevent them from obtaining those brahmanical qualities that was mentioned. And then as a what do you say, cure to this, or as a remedy to this, solution to this, Hare Nam, that verse was there, like Mahaprabhu came and he gave the chanting of the chanting the glories of the holy name, to understand the aim of the life, and to achieve the the goal of the life of
Haribo. Very good. Very good. So, Sri Prabhupada was saying that to understand, one has to become Brahminical. To understand transcendental knowledge, Brahminical qualities are very important. And what Brahminical qualities are mentioned? Shamo, Damo, Tapas, Shaucha. Why Brahminical qualities? Why Brahminical qualities?
Because by Brahminical qualities, one can situate himself in the mode of goodness.
Because mode of goodness is required. That's what we understood. And Prabhupada said, those who are in mode of goodness, what are their characteristics? For them, Shamo, Damas, Tapas, Shaucham, Shantararjavam evacha, Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam, Brahma Karma Swabhavajam. This is 1842 Gita. If you want, you can look it up on your. Oh, you have it here, right? Okay. I'll just share it with. Yeah, this is 1842. So Shamaha means peacefulness. Dhamma means self-control. Tapaha means Shaucham is cleanliness or purity. Krantihi is tolerance. Arjavam, honesty. Eva cha, Jnanam is knowledge. Vijnanam is wisdom. Astikyam, religiousness. Brahma karma swabhavajam. These are the duties born of a Brahmana. Can one of you read the translation?
Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work.
Yeah. So it's very important for us to cultivate these qualities. How do you cultivate these qualities? Saurabh Prabhu, how do you cultivate these qualities?
By associating with people who have these qualities.
Okay, by associating with people who have these qualities. Okay. Okay, anything else? Thank you. How do you cultivate these qualities? Suraj Prabhu. Yeah. I look at the people who are most confused. Say you have to cultivate peace, peacefulness. How do you plan to cultivate?
Chanting Hare Krishna.
By chanting Hare Krishna. हो जाएगा. Okay, good. How? How by chanting Hare Krishna you can cultivate these qualities?
Because
Hare Krishna is transcendental sound vibration. This is quality. These are qualities in the mode.
Yeah, these are all qualities
Which
of
are lower.
these are all qualities of Brahmana, and in this Kali Yuga, there is no qualified Brahmana.
No. So you will not cultivate them.
No. For that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given Harinam, so that by chanting Harinam, we can get
That's
this.
true, but I'm asking. That doesn't mean you don't cultivate them.
Huh.
Prabhupada is speaking generally, but generally these qualities are not found. There is no Brahman. Everyone is a Shudra. What Prabhupada said? Disturbed, and he gave many. Unintelligent, unfortunate, disturbed Shudras. But that doesn't mean you don't have to cultivate. We have to cultivate these qualities. So anyone knows any other ideas to cultivate? Please. Fast. So bend karo bhai.
Practicing Vaishnava etiquettes.
Practicing Vaishnava etiquettes. Okay. By that, what will you cultivate?
You can cultivate purity, honesty, at least. And
Austerity.
Yeah, austerity.
Gali bolna, you have a strong tendency to
then
scold.
self-control.
Self-control, yeah.
Many qualities we can develop.
Okay, Vaishnava etiquettes. Very good. And anyone else? Yes. So how? You have to tell me how it works. Without that, it's not accepted.
By mercy of the Lord Himself, like.
Okay, very good. By chanting Hare Krishna, you attract the mercy of the Lord. By attracting the mercy of the Lord, Krishna will give you these qualities. What is the verse? Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvai gunays tatra samasadeta. All the qualities of demigods come into a person who is a devotee. Whereas the materialistic people who say, I have all these qualities, but I'm not a devotee. Hara abhaktasya kuto mahadgunan. Whatever qualities are there, that will go away. For devotees, because they're devoted to the Supreme Lord, but they have no good qualities, whatever they don't have, it will come. And atheistic people, whatever they have, it will go. Just on account of being a devotee and not being. Okay, good.
Samaks,
Oh, yes, Samaksh Prabhu.
Ruji, I was also thinking about Bhagavad Gita verse Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha griyate. So by practice and detachment, it is particularly for mind, that verse, but here also I see, by practice, austerity, purity, tolerance, knowledge, wisdom, right, religiousness, we can choose every day to adopt these practices, and just by practice and detachment to our lower tendencies, we can rise up.
Yeah, very good. By practicing mode of goodness and detaching from lower modes. That's how you practice. And more you're in mode of goodness, more these qualities become easy to practice. You cannot expect a highly passionate person to be very, you can say, self-controlled. Hmm? A highly passionate person to be tolerant. No, it's not easy, because then the rajas is pushing. When the rajas is pushing from inside, nothing works, isn't it? So Krishna says, Karanam guna sangosya saddasadyoni janmasu. How do you acquire a mode? By associating with the mode. Like, say, Prabhu is more in mode of goodness. So if I keep associating with Inder Prabhu, then say I am little passionate, I keep talking, Prabhu is always silent. Then gradually I also become silent, isn't it? Whenever I'm with Inder Prabhu, he is always reading. And I also develop the habit of reading, isn't it? And that's how we also develop bad habits. Even a very good Brahminical boy, he goes to college and he sits with, Stri Sangi. And then he is doing his studies, but this fellow is going on the internet and contaminating this boy. How does the contamination enter? Because he is more of goodness. Because he takes in the mode, the lower mode he takes in from this person by associating. So therefore, if we have to cultivate these qualities, we can do it by, one is by associating with those who are in mode of goodness. Then you get their mode of goodness. In mode of goodness, this is natural. Speaking mic, ग्राम्य कथा ना कोई भी. So in mode of goodness, it becomes very natural. Natural to cultivate these qualities. To be peaceful in mode of goodness is natural. To be peaceful in mode of rajas, in the mode of passion, is unnatural. To be peaceful in mode of ignorance is natural. I mean, you'll be sleeping. So, and similarly, self-control for a mode of goodness person is very natural. Whereas for rajasic and tamasic people, unnatural, very difficult. So if we, and one more thing before we proceed ahead, what qualities we practice, it propagates mode of goodness, and more and mode of goodness propagates these qualities. It's like a cycle. Like if you are peaceful, self-controlled, consciously are choosing to be peaceful, self-controlled, austere, and pure, means you're making conscious effort to do that, then you are increasing mode of goodness in your life. And more you increase mode of goodness in your life, more you can be peaceful, self-controlled, austere, purity, etc. So it's like a reinforcement cycle. And when more we embrace these qualities, more transcendental knowledge becomes natural. At that point in time, you pick up Bhagavatam and sit. It will just flood into your mind. You're just drinking Bhagavatam at that point. And of course, devotion is, obviously there, but we're just focusing on goodness. Devotion is there. But that time you sit with Bhagavatam, you will not fall asleep. Why does one fall asleep? Because one can first of all sit down and to read Prabhupada's books. Why? It is because the rajas is troubling the living entity. Rajas is troubling means the living entity becomes very ambitious to do many tasks, especially for lokaranjanam, which is for to showcase to others, isn't it? Why? That is the quality of rajas. Karke dikhana hai. That is quality of rajas, and therefore initially people are karma dikari. Karma dikari means you tell them sit and hear a class, they cannot do it. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, attention span currently is 8 seconds. Even a goldfish attention span is 9 seconds. according to tax. So why? Because rajas is increasing, the lower modes increase. So if you tell someone to sit and hear, they cannot hear. So what do you do to such a person? Seva. Put them in seva, they'll be more than happy. And you will find, we had one devotee, he would only come for Sunday feast. I told him so many times, come and attend Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita study circle. So he never came and sat. But he would always, whenever he sees me, he says, Hare Krishna. He smiles. He's very friendly in relationship, but he would never come and sit. But he would help in cleaning up the entire, all the tables in Balram Hall, Prasadam Hall, clean the floor and everything, and goes at night. More he kept doing that, towards the end, he started coming for classes. That is the platform of Jnanadhikari. Why? Because Karmadhikari, passion has to be engaged. Passion is troubling the living entity. So therefore, sometimes when people chant like this, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. This is all very passionate. A lot of passion. Sattvic people, how we chant, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Actually, you don't have to move anything. I don't know why people move. I mean, of course, when I used to move when initially. Do not fall asleep. That is tamas to rajas. This is not going to control your mind, by the way. It's like, I've seen some devotees slap themselves. Yeah, you have not seen. Have you ever seen? Yeah, I've seen like really like hard slap. And we would turn and see what happened. He just slap, and he's thinking it's controlling the mind. No, no, no. Sometimes you pinch yourself to distract the mind. This is all mode of lower modes, mode of passion. You keep shaking yourself, and because if you don't shake yourself, you just fall asleep helplessly. In mode of goodness, how one chants is, sit straight, have a beat bag, just focus on the mantra. If you feel sleepy, open the eyes, look at the deities, chant. You don't need shaking of any part of your body. Like that, only one can chant. That is mode of goodness. So karmadhikari means something is shaking himself from inside, and therefore he has to act. He cannot sit quietly. Even when sitting, he's fidgeting. He's touching his phone, laptop, and looking here, there, talking with someone. He cannot sit simply. Whereas mode of goodness person, he can simply sit and hear. So for us, we all need to have a chart. How much mode of goodness actually in Pune one Brahmachari, he has made a chart, Sundar Shampani, and it is called the mode chart, your mode chart. I can get it. You have it? You have? Okay, you can send it to me. Share. You can do the mode chart. And he has different criteria. And depending on, for example, bead bag, never wash, mode of ignorance. Bead bag, once in a while wash, rajas. And regular wash, goodness. Cutting nails, yeah. So like he has many things. Wearing everyday fresh dhoti kurta, goodness. Reusing it. That is passion. Third day also. I mean, I'm just giving example. I have to see the chart again. For example, this is a mode chart, and you can calculate your mode. You can find out a percentage after putting. Yeah, we can print it, put in library and get your percentage. And we can set a goal. The whole point of getting percentage, you can put a goal. How much am I in goodness and how much should I reach? So by doing this mode chart, finally, when we come to goodness, the transcendental knowledge becomes, as I say, easy peasy lemon squeezy. As easy as squeezing a lemon. Otherwise, it becomes very tough. Why? Why I changed from asana to here? Because there is a default of the mind. As soon as they see an official setup, send someone on the asana, there's a tendency of the mind to sleep off. Isn't it? Because an official setting, that aura is created. Therefore, I sat down. So it was more interactive. And कुछ discussion चल रहा है. Okay, I'm involved. As soon as I sit there, it looks like, okay, this is his thing. We just have to somehow spend our time. And then finally, once he's done, we all are freed. That sense, isn't it? Bhagavatam class, that is there. Not just that, even in this temple hall, something is there. That aura. Because the lighting is not very good. It's not on the speaker somewhere there. And so All these things, this are all different modes like this. So more we come to mode of goodness, as soon as we hear wisdom becomes attractive. Therefore, you see what is being said, jnanam vijnanam astikyam. Very important. Jnanam vijnanam is not meant for mode of passion ignorant people. And therefore only Brahmanas study the scriptures. You see, when Ekalavya, he was also expert in archery. Dhanush Shastra, you can call it Dhanush Shastra. That's also knowledge. It's not some just physical activity. Knowledge. Music is knowledge. So he is expert in that knowledge, but Dronacharya did not encourage it. You know why? Are you qualified to speak? You need the mic. If it falls on the ground, the small thing mic easily gets damaged.
Because he did not have qualities of a kshatriya. Like kshatriya's dharma is to protect, but the way he was practicing was like on the mouth of a small puppy. He was
Small
aiming.
puppy, dog.
Dog, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Dronacharya saw. That means he had knowledge, but actually he didn't have knowledge. That means he had the skill, but he didn't have knowledge. What is use of the skill? Sometimes people have the skill, they can make nuclear energy, they can deal with nuclear energy. But if they don't have enough intelligence way to use it, they can bomb other countries and destroy this world. Isn't it? That means they're not Brahminical. It's called perverted intelligence. So similarly, this Ekalavya was such a person. He was not from Brahminical background. He did not cultivate these qualities. Shamaha, peacefulness, not there. Austerity, not there. Dronacharya said, I cannot accept you as my disciple. And what did he do? He anyway remained a murti of Dronacharya and started worshipping him, saying that I'm actually a disciple of Dronacharya. So lying, which is not Brahminic, nor of a Kshatriya. So therefore he was not qualified. So like this, what is most important for a Brahmana, or as we cultivate goodness, is we can absorb jnanam vijnanam. Not just knowledge, even vijnanam, wisdom, you can absorb. And more in goodness we are, more we can absorb wisdom. More passionate we are, we think we know. Passionate people, what they say, they cover the surface area. Do you know the ocean? Yeah. Ocean, Pacific Ocean is between these countries and Atlantic Ocean. But do you really know the ocean? That depth of wisdom is, you need sattva to go deep. In Rajas, you only cover surface. In ignorance, you don't do anything. So therefore, if we want to apply spiritual knowledge, we have to go deep. For that sattva. So therefore, jnanam vijnanam is characteristic of a Brahmana. Okay. And of course, then Prabhu told us the flow. So we'll go ahead. And Prabhupada says, of course, very difficult to find qualified Brahmanas. So therefore, we chant Hare Krishna and we try to become Brahmanical. If someone says, Prabhu, I'm not Brahmana, I'm a Vaishya by nature, but still you have to read Prabhupada's books. You know that? Even if someone says I'm Shudra by nature, you have to still read Prabhupada's books. A Brahmana might read 2 hours a day. Shudra has to read at least 20 minutes a day. But reading is there. No one can say I'm a Shudra, so I will not chant. Everyone has to chant the Vaishnava principles. Okay. Next was Surab. Can you see? Is it moving?
Yes. Some hundreds and thousands of years ago, Lord Krishna appeared as Devhuti Putra Kapil Dev. His father's name was Kardama Muni. After Kapil Dev grew up, his father, according to the Vedic system, retired, took sannyas and left home to cultivate spiritual life. It is not that one should rot in this material world throughout one's whole life. Panchashrodham Vanam Vajet. According to the Vedic injunctions, there are 4 ashramas and 4 varnas, and these used to be followed very strictly. After his son grew up, Kardama Muni, being a strict follower of the Vedas, left home and put his wife in the charge of his grown son, Kapil Dev.
Okay. So this we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai,
Kapil Dev ki
Jai,
Shri Devahuti Putra Kapil Dev ki
Jai, Jai,
Shri Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Thank you all the devotees for joining. So we'll meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.